Welcome to Shom Machshava on the Daf. She responds to Nishmas Ein B'Yakosholem Leah Basitzchok. We're holding Ibo Metzia Daf Non Gimel. The Gemara Namud Beis explains what is the case that you have a Maaser Sheni that you are allowed to be mevatel beroiv, allowed to cancel it when it falls into chulin. And the Gemara says we're talking about Maaser Sheni that was in Yerushalaim, and then naful mechitzos, the walls of Yerushalaim fell. So because once it went into Yerushalaim, you cannot anymore redeem it. But because there's no mechitzos, so I can't eat the Maaser Sheni in Yerushalaim. So that's why it's mevatel on the roof. Now the Rishonim already point out that we know there's a machlekes in the Gemara if Gedusha Rishonim kitcha l'shaisa or kitcha l'asilovi, meaning is the Gedusha of Yerushalayim stay forever, or once there was Churban Abayis, so there's no Gedusha anymore. Say the Rishonim, our Gemara is talking according to Mandamar that holds Gedusha Rishonim kitcha l'shaisa v'loi kitcha l'asilovi. The Gedusha of Yerushalayim is over. That's why when the mechitzos fall, you have no mechitzos anymore, you can't eat Maaser Sheni anymore. But if you hold that even when there's a churban, you still have a dusha of Yerushalayim, so that I don't care that there's no mechitzah, I can still eat in Yerushalayim. So why do we say over here you can't eat in Yerushalayim? The big problem with this is the Rambam. Because the Rambam, in one hand, in Ilchus Beis Abchir Perek Vov, he tells us the Kedusha Yerushalayim is a Kedusha forever. He goes on to explain a beautiful piece why Eretz Yisrael depends on kibush, depends on conquering. Once Eretz Yisrael is taken away from us, so the Kedusha goes away. But the Kedusha of Yerushalayim Beis Hamikdash is a Kedusha because of the Shechina, and the Shechina is there forever. So therefore I have Kedusha of Yerushalayim, and I can eat the Maaser Sheni in Yerushalayim even today, as Zoy Zok the Rambam. On the other hand, the Rambam, in Hilchos Maaser Sheni, in the end of Perek Vov, brings our Gemara. And he says, Maaser Sheni botel beroiv, and what's the case is, Maaser Sheni shenichnas Yerushalayim v'yotzov v'noflu mechitzos. And the Rambam goes on to explain, Shari ain't shom mechitzos lachzir l'sham, there's no mechitzos, I can't bring it in there. So all the achronim were bothered, how does the Rambam, what's the pshat in the Rambam? Can I eat Maaser Sheni even if there's no mechitzas? So who cares if there's no mechitzas? That's what the Rambam says. Kedusha Rishonim kitcha l'shais doesn't go away. Mitzat Sheni, he brings our Gemara and Metzia Metzia Daf Nun Gimel base that says that if I don't mechitzas, I can't eat Maaser Sheni. So all the Achronim speak about this Rambam. The Mishnah Melech says if you look at the Rambam himself, you look at the Lashon, you'll understand what the Rambam means. And the Achronim, all the Achronim ask, what does the Mishnah Melech mean? The Mishnah Melech is not understood what he says. And all the Achronim question it. Just to mention, because we're mentioning here all the Achronim, there's another problem in the Rambam, because the Rambam says clearly in Perek Beis Milchus Maaser Sheni that we don't need Maaser Sheni today in Yerushalayim. So the question is, what the Rambam said in Hilchus Beis Abchir, the Kedusha stays, you can eat Maaser Sheni. So this is the Achronim address. So the Achronim say different answers. Either it's a deraisa derabanan, a deraisa eat Maaser Sheni, but Rabbanan said not to eat. That's what says the Mogen Avram on Shulchan Aruch in Orach Chaim. And then there's another answer, that's what the Mishnah Mech is noiket and others, that even though you can eat in Yerushalayim, there's another condition that needs to be met. You need to have a mizbeach. If you don't have a mizbeach, you can't eat Maaser Sheni. It's based on the Gemara and Makas Daf Yutes. But this doesn't explain how the Rambam brings here the naflu mechitzas, that the walls fell, that already takes away the inyan of not eating Maaser Sheni. Some want to say when it means naflu mechitzas, when it means that the walls broke, doesn't mean only the walls broke. The Beis Hamikdash was nechrev. I have no mizbech and no Beis Hamikdash, and that's why I cannot eat Maaser Sheni Yerushalayim, not because of Kedusha Beis Hamikdash, but the Kedusha's mizbech that Mishnah Melech is referring to. But I want to focus on another answer. The Chazon Ish, in his piece on this whole shtickle, he brings as a efsharus because of something else. He says maybe there's a possibility to say that when do you need mechitzos? Only when Beis Hamikdash exists. When Beis Hamikdash is nechrov, I don't need mechitzas anymore. The walls are needed when I have Beis Hamikdash. But if I don't have Beis Hamikdash, I don't need walls. Says the Chazon Ish, is a tremendous chiddush. We don't find such a thing. What's the pshat in such an answer? But says the Chazon Ish, if you do say that, the Gemara Metzia nafel mechitzas makes sense. And when the Chazon Ish means why it makes sense, because then it's very glad. The Rambam is speaking about when Beis Hamikdash is not nechrov. So then I need mechitzas. Says the Gemara, nafel mechitzas. I don't have mechitzas. I cannot eat Maaser Sheni Yerushalayim. But what it says the Rambam and Hilchos Beis Abchir that you could eat Maaser Sheni at least mid'oraisa, we're talking about Beis Hamikdash is destroyed. Then you could eat Maaser Sheni Yerushalayim. But what's pshat in the Rambam? What should it be a difference between the time Beis Hamikdash is kayam and when the time Beis Hamikdash is nechrov? What the Chazon Ish really is asking. But maybe one could suggest the following idea, and this will explain this Chazon Ish's idea. The Rambam has another halacha that he brings. There's the Machlekes, the Gemara in Yuma, the Gemara in Shkolim. Where did the Aron go? Did the Aron Nignas, was it buried beneath Beis Hamikdash? Or the Aron went to Golus, is outside of Yerushalaim? The Rambam says that the Aron is Nignas. The obvious question is, why does the Rambam have to tell me that? The Rambam doesn't just tell me stories. The Rambam gives me halacha. But what do I care if the Aron is underneath Beis Hamikdash or it's in Golus? Says the Yavitz is a big nafkamina. Because the only reason you have Kedushas Beis Hamikdash is because of the Aron. If I don't have an Aron, I don't have Kedushas Beis Hamikdash. What the Rambam holds in Hilchos Beis Habchira, that the Kedusha of the Shechina stays forever, that's only because the Aron is still there. And the Shechina is Shoyri al Aron. If I don't have the Aron, if the Aron went to Galus, so Kedusha Rishayna Lo Kitchela Silavai. Says the Yavit, that's why the Rambam has to tell me that the Aron is Nignas, is in Beis Hamikdash, to tell me why there's Kedushas Beis Hamikdash today. Based on that, maybe one could suggest that the idea of mechitzas is that the kedusha only is able to spread out if it's covered properly. If it's revealed too much, you can't have the kedusha, as we know based on many yesodis of Kabbalah. We know that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he built the Mishkan, so he told Betzalel to first do the kelim and then build the Mishkan. Said Betzalel, no, you should first have to have a place where to put the kelim in. According to this understanding, the idea is you cannot have an Aron, you can't have the clay of Mishkan if I don't have a Mechitza, I don't have something that conceals the big light of the Aron. So have Shaloim like this. When Beis Hamikdash is Kayom, you need to have Mechitzas. You have to have Mechitzas Beis Hamikdash. You have to have the walls of Yerushalaim. In order for the Kedusha to be there, it needs to be the proper concealment. But now that the Aron is Nignas, so the Aron is buried underneath Beis Hamikdash, and from there the Kedusha is coming, like the Yavit says, that Kedusha is completely concealed. It's completely hidden in the ground. Therefore, the Kedusha spreads out. So that's the pshat in the Rambam. When Beis Hamikdash is nechrav, then you have Kedushas Yerushalaim. You can eat Maaser Sheni at least with the Raiso in Yerushalaim. But when Beis Hamikdash exists and nafel mechitzos and the walls fell, you cannot eat. That's what the Rambam says over here. If I have Maaser Sheni and the mechitzos nafel, you don't have the walls of the Yerushalaim. Talking about when Beis Hamikdash is kayom, I cannot eat Maaser Sheni in Yerushalaim. And if this is true, it's a beautiful gishmak pshat in the Rambam in our sugya. Anyone who wants to join the Shomachshava email list or WhatsApp group, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.